Let's first import the standard files that we need, header files, stdlib for malloc, calloc. Okay, now let's create the main block, and I'm going to create a pointer for our array, and that would be allocated some memory. Let's say 10 to store 10 integers. And then I'm going to take input for 10 integers into the array, scanf, and that would be the address of the array where the integer would be stored. Now I'm going to simply print the array. Okay, and then at last I'm going to free the pointer and return. So this is the basic program. It doesn't do anything. And yeah, we can give the input, and this is the array that we are getting. So let's also add a space. Okay, so we have our array now. So to implement merge sort, there are two main functions. First one is the merge sort function itself, and it takes an address to the array, the start index and the ending index of the part of the array that we are going to sort. And the second would be the merge operation that will take an address to the array, start index, middle index, and the end index. So we basically are merging two arrays from P to Q and Q plus 1 to R into one. Now let's write the body of the merge sort function. And what we have two base cases here. The first base case is P equals to R, or P is greater than R. That is, the start index crosses the end index. So we don't want to do anything if these conditions are met. So what we are going to do is to define the case that has to run except the base cases. So instead of the base case, we are going to handle the case that will call the merge sort recursively. So if we have P less than R, that is, we have some array, and we are going to calculate the middle of the array, that is P plus R minus P by 2. Now this is just to save us from integer overflow. And then we are going to simply call this merge sort recursive with the address of the array. Start index would be this, and Q. This is by this we mean that we are sorting the first half of the array. Then we are going to merge sort. We are going to call the merge sort again on the leftover part. It is Q plus 1 to R. Now this sort the second half. Okay, and then finally we are going to call the merge function with all the indexes we have. Merge the sorted arrays. Now let's write the merge function. And in this, first we are gonna first check the sizes of the two arrays that we have to merge. So this n1 would be P to Q. So the size of an array is also defined as upper index minus lower index plus 1. So our n1 would be Q minus P plus 1. And the size of the second array would be, the upper index here is R minus the lower index is Q plus 1, and then we are going to finally add up 1. So it would be equals to R minus Q. Yes. So let's say R minus Q. So this is the size of the second array. Now we have to create two arrays. Let's allocate some memory. Star and would be malloc, and then size of the array is n1 into the size of int. Now similarly we're gonna allocate the second array. That would be the second half of the array. Size would be n2. Yeah. So we have both of our arrays. Now we need to fill these with using the base array, and how we'll do it using a for loop. Now before this let's create three variables I, j, and k. And the first for loop I'll use I equals to 0, I less than n1, and I plus plus, that is I to progress. And what it will do, it will simply copy to the ith index the element of array A at the ith index. And yeah, and this solves. Similarly for the second array, and now this will start from, yeah, this will start from 0, and yes, and this will start from j. So let's take it as j less than n2. Also there here this would not be simply I, because we don't know if the lower index is 0. It's given that the lowest index is p, so we are gonna add the p plus ith element of the array A. And then similarly here we are gonna add the q plus 1 plus ith element, because the lower index of the second half array is q plus 1, as we know. And this would be j plus plus. Okay, and here also it would be j. Okay, so we are done copying the two arrays. Now we need to merge. So I'm going to use a while loop, checking that while, and also reset I equals to 0 and j equals to 0, while I less than n1 and j less than n2. That is the indexes do not cross the actual size of the array. If any one of the array ends first, we just exit the loop. So now we're gonna merge these two arrays, and what we are gonna do, we are gonna check if the element at the ith position in X is lower than the element in jth position of Y. We want to simply put into A at the position K. Also set K equals to 0. It's to Xi, because I is smaller. And then we are going to simply do K plus plus. No, not here. We are going to do I plus plus. So we are progressing in the array X. And here we are going to do finally K plus plus at the outer loop. Now we are also going to check if that's not true, that is less than or equal to Y. Then we are going to put at the kth index of array A the element at the jth index of array Y, and then progress in the array Y. So this will merge the array. Let's say if any one of the array ends first, then we still would have some elements left unmerged. So what we are going to do, we will check if I less than n1, that is the second array ended. We want to just put into AK the value in Xi, and we are going to I plus plus K plus plus. And similarly for the second array, if let's say the first array ended first, we're gonna be putting at the kth element of array A the element at the jth index of array Y. So we have everything done. Now finally we are gonna free x and free y, and then return 0. So let's see if we did any mistake. Let's check. I'm gonna enter values. Okay, so it's okay. We have not called merge sort here. So I'm gonna call merge sort. I must sort on this array. Lowest index is y, highest index is 9. And let's see if this works. Okay, so we are getting some ambiguity here. Let's see what we did wrong. We created two arrays A, P, Q, R, A, Q plus 1, R, and A, P, Q, R merged the arrays. Okay, then we have size of the arrays. We created two arrays with the same size. Three variables I equals y less than 1, I plus plus. And then we simply progressing G plus plus, xj equals to Q plus G. Not in X, we have to put in Y. And this was the mistake, I think. Yeah, in Yj, we will put these values, then we are gonna merge the arrays xi less than yj, a equals to xi, I plus plus, this square equals to yj, j plus plus, and then k plus plus finally. Now this should work. Yeah, so now this is sorting the array. One more thing here. K should be equal to the lowest index passed to the merge function. So we are not absolutely sure that P would be 0. P could be any index, and we could have been given any part of an array to be sorted. So this should be like this. Now let's try passing 1 as the start index and see if a part of the array is sorted or not. So I'm going to compile the program and then let's put 7 at the start, then rest of the numbers. So only the array between 1 to 9, the array between the index 1 to 9 is sorted and rest is left untouched. So this was the whole point of merge sort. Thank you.